Okay, we're going to start things off with the Neoholotheliense unsexed, molted last week. We're going with a dubia because I don't have any red runners small enough for these guys, believe it or not. Can it come out? Here it comes. I don't think this is too big for it. Might be. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. So this one molted last week and doesn't look like it got too big. No hooks, so it's not a male. Well, at least not a mature male. Doesn't mean it's not a male. Come on. That's the problem with dubias, is they just sit there. It's a good actual dwarf beginner species, really, to be honest with you. The Neoholotheliense, whether it's the olive form like this one or the gold form, they're a little quick. They can be a little quick, but most dwarfs are, believe it or not. They are pretty quick. Pretty good eaters overall. They can stand it a little moister. So, you know, throwing some sphagnum moss in there like I did, wetting that down, gives them a little bit of extra moisture, dampness. They seem to thrive okay with it. I'm afraid to touch this because I'm afraid that he'll go over it. There we go. So that's a good way to start part 2. Good feeding from a recently molted tarantula. And it's a dubia, so that's one dubia less that I have. Not that I don't want the dubias, because they do serve their purpose, especially with the bigger tarantulas. But I don't have a lot of big ones of those, and I don't have enough small ones of the red runners. Most of my red runners are sub-adult adults. I'd say the vast majority of them are. So, okay, well, there's the Neoholotheliense, and we will move on to what's next. Okay, so this one, you just don't ever know. We have yet to get this one on film eating. This is Tattoo. This is Monocentropas belfori. Kind of just lives underneath webbing there. Doesn't do much of anything. I very, very rarely see it. Again, thinking with the belforis that, you know, having a couple of them together is probably better. You'll probably be able to see them more. I think they just do well together. They do better together than they do by themselves. Like I said, I have honestly, probably in the time I've had this tarantula, probably seen it eat maybe once or twice. and that's when it was really, really, really small. Not that it's big, by no means. It's probably still just around an inch or tad bit over. This was the one that I suspected eating its one or two siblings when I did have them communally. Okay, well, I don't want to sit here and wait. Take up a bunch of time waiting for it to come out. If it does come out, I'll update you guys on that. See, I was thinking maybe that was the spider in the corner, but that's really just the dubia pulling on the webbing, and it's pulling the substrate too. So, okay, well, let's move on to what's coming up next. Okay, here's Rio. Rio is, of course, the Acanthoscurria geniculata. We're going to give it a small mealworm, nothing big. Rio, I believe, is a female. It's not 100%. Why is this so low? The light is, it was charged. It should have been charged. So we may have to kind of do part of this with the flash. Bulky, beefy spider. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Don't think it's approaching a molt yet, because it hasn't been that long since we molted, but these do seem to carry their weight a little bit more, along with, you know, some of the Grammostola species, my species Mall and species North. Both are decent size in the abdomen. My Faunopelma chalcodes, you know, some of those big bulky terrestrials. This one should get big. So, okay, we're going to move on to Cujo, the Grammostola pulchripes. Okay, so before we do that, this is the Tarantula sazame. This is Azor. I tried feeding Azor a dubia, and the dubia took off, hid underneath a log. I couldn't find it. It's just a small one, so I put a mealworm disabled in the front of the entrance, and I did videotape the whole thing, and the footage wasn't really, there wasn't anything there. I mean, the spider didn't really do much of anything except for hide. And of course I put the enclosure off to the side, and I look at it, and there's Azor right there with the mealworm. So we kind of missed that one, but we should be able to get Cujo eating without any problem. Cujo's a pretty good eater, so we'll move on to that one. Okay, so we're filming now with the flash on, which is, I don't really like doing because it heats up the camera pretty quick, but also uses up battery. But here's Cujo. Oh, that didn't go as planned. Nope, you missed it, kid. It's right here. There you go. Cujo's kind of a favorite of everybody's because of the little Spider-Man dude that has been in its enclosure pretty much from the beginning. You know, not when it was a tiny sling, because I got the Spider-Man thing when I moved it into the 16-ounce deli cup, and then when I moved it out of there into here, I moved the Spider-Man with it. Now there was a video of him with Spidey. There he is right there. This, again, no, I don't think anybody's going to convince me otherwise. I think there's a couple species that are a little bit more docile than these, and probably a little bit better for a beginner, like the Euapolaestrus campostratus, the Eualpha species red. The reason I don't recommend those two, one, the Euapolaestrus campostratus isn't easy to find. Slings, they're becoming a little bit more available, but not available enough that they're out there, you know, so they're easy to find. The Eualpha species red, the slings are so small, and they are very, very difficult to raise. I had 4, and not one of them survived. Fed them fruit flies, did everything I possibly could. They wouldn't eat. You know, I'd give them water, and then boom, one by one they just passed. And I don't know what I did wrong, but I've heard that from a lot of people, and then a lot of people say they're really, really easy to keep. So the reason I recommend this as the #1 species for a beginner is availability, the cost. They're not an expensive spider as a sling. They're not even really an expensive spider as a juvenile, to be honest with you, because they're easy to breed. They have tons of babies, so there's bunches of them. They're brownish here, as you can see, with that gold starting to show up on the knees, and they get more of a blackish as they get bigger, and they get big as females. They can get 8 inches. I think even some at 9. Males are probably 6 to 7, I would imagine, somewhere in that area. I really can't tell you for sure, that's factual, how big a male gets, but if I had to pick, I think if I had to pick a spider out of mine to hold, the first one would be the Eualpha species red, because she's a female and she's established. But if I had to start holding any of them, I would probably start with my 3 Grammostola species, or the Grammostola pulchripes. This one especially seems to be a little bit more relaxed. Anakinensis, the older male, juvenile male, is a little bit more skittish and a little quicker, and then it is very small still. So this one here is pretty placid. I don't ever worry about this one taking off on me. It's just an all-around great spider. This will be one that won't leave me. You know, maybe when Anakinensis gets a little bit older, I may send him out, somebody that may want to breed him, but Cujo's sticking with me. Hopefully we'll get a girl. And we're going to move on to the next round of stuff. I'm not sure what I got coming up next. Hold on. Alrighty. So my goal of this feeding is to actually see this spider and keep it in its enclosure. As you can see, we'll try and show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 entrances to its little labyrinth of amazement underground, with a plethora of webbing. This is Sanguida, the Ceratogyarus darlini. I haven't seen this guy out completely since it molted last time. Oh crap. Last time it fed it just waited for the roach to get to its burrow. Now this one's probably not going to be a good feeder now because it's got web all over it. But we're going to try and tease them out. There he is, coming out right there. I don't think that dubia was the way to go with this one. There he is. Oh, the horn's starting to show. Look at him, or her. See how skinny. Look at that. God, I love this spider. See, now that dubia is not going to move at all. Oh, there goes my flash. Lovely. And the light's completely dim on us. Let me do it this way. This will probably be the last one that I videotape for now. We'll just get more once the camera, once the the light recharges. The trouble is I'm not going to be able to get that guy to move, so what we'll do is we'll try throwing a nice sized mealworm in right in front of it. There we go. We'll take the mealworm and run, and the dubia can be a snack for later. Alright, so, oh boy, that really excites me. The horn's showing up already, which kind of scares me though, because this one was kind of small when it came in. 3/4 of an inch, so it's probably like 1.5 inches now, and we got a horn starting to grow already. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. I'm not really sure, you know, if the horn starts to show when they're smaller, if it's female or male, or am I just making crap up? I have no idea. But yeah, one of my favorites, definitely one of my favorite baboon species. I have 5 total. I think they're pretty cool. Something I wouldn't mind breeding in the future. But yeah, so we're going to let everything charge up, and then we'll get back to some more feeding. Hopefully, it probably won't be this evening. I'll probably have to wait till tomorrow to do some more feedings. But you're right. Well, we'll be on to the next one soon. Have a good one. Okay, so here's a continuation of part 2. Last night I had a light issue. I'll explain in a second. We're going to try, you can see I already gave, this is the Seriocosmus aurea, or Berthae. She took a mealworm. I'm pretty excited because she hasn't eaten in a while. She's been looking kind of rough. So I'm going to try and give her another one. See if she'll take it. Yeah, she will. I'm sure she will. Yep, she does. That's good. Her abdomen has still been a little round, not excessive. I don't know if she'll double clutch or not. Some say they do, some say they don't. If she did, I would imagine she would have done it by now. But at least she's eating, which is good news. She's pretty. See, her abdomen's got these goofy... It's like she's kicking hairs, but I don't think she's kicking them in that spot. So I don't know if she has rubbed them on the bark, being in the bark or what. But she's going to get moved into this. So that'll be her permanent home. We're going to give her some more substrate, a little bit deeper, so she has some room to dig. Set her up a nice little hide in the corner. And she's not going to get much bigger than she is, so that'll be perfectly appropriate for her and that size. So yeah, so let me pause you here, and we're going to get set up to do some more feedings. We're going to do some adults. We still have a few slings, I think. Oh no, we don't. Sorry, we don't. Slings are done. I do have to feed like the discalus and that, but those will be the handful of small nymphs that I have, and you can't see them ever eat anyway. So I have one molt that I'm not sure if it molted yesterday or day before. I will show you that. We're going to throw something in with the centipede. It probably won't come out and get it, so we'll just kind of let it go in there. We have some juveniles to feed: Grammostola pulchripes, the Appalachius campostratus, the Lasiodora paraibana. The OBTs all ate the other day. All the Nandu carapoensis, the Colorado volisis, the chromatus, the Pamphobedius platyoma. there's not many arboreals that need to feed. All the salmos have been fed within the last 7 days. All the pokies were fed the other day that could eat. But we do have also some baboons, and 2 Davus penaloris need to be fed too. But I also went and got the new, hold on, I'll try and be as steady as I can here. Got the new tripod. Okay, there's the new tripod right there. Okay, that's the new one. This was the old one, so we're twice the size. I took this part off of this, so you can see this would fit the GoPro, which I actually have another tripod for the phone. It's a little bit different. It'll actually take the phone vertical, so I could take pictures, steady pictures, and I also have a little small tripod for the GoPro. So this thing here will fit the GoPro and this. So now I really need to learn how to use the GoPro. I think that my next, or the series videos that I want to start doing, I think I'm going to do the first one with the GoPro. And then spend some time here at the house with the laptop and get a decent editing program for videos. There's one that came with it, with the Windows or Microsoft or whatever it is. I have to monkey around with it and figure out how to use it, is what I need to do. So, okay, we are going to get set up, get the feeders out, and start feeding some teas. Okay, so first up with the new tripod, we're going to try and feed Apolopus species Columbia large. Look for it over in this area. Oh, yeah, that was quick. All you saw was a muscle or a moving of the web there, but yeah, it can take me a little while to figure this tripod out so that the phone doesn't pull the tripod down to get it, because the phone's heavy. So trying to get it situated where we want it so it doesn't tip over. But okay, so that was a quick one. We'll move on to the next thing, and then I'll talk about the light issue that we had yesterday. Okay, here's Dallas. This is the Fauna Palma annex. It's one of the ones that likes to try and wander. Let's see if it'll take a mealworm. Oh yeah. Trying to get rid of some of these mealworms here, so I'll probably these are small. I'm going to give him another one. The lighting issue I had yesterday, if you remember, it kind of like cut out on us, and then I used a flash, and the flash overheated the phone pretty quick. What happened was I thought I charged the light up, okay, and I'll get it. Okay, so this is the light I use. It's made by Insignia. It's a little LED. It just has a little jack thing. You just put it in your phone to hold it in the microphone area. So I thought I charged it because there's a light, a red light, a charging light, and no, stay in there. There's no reason to come out. He likes to wander. Pretty docile species, this one here, the annex. Anyway, so I thought I charged it. So when I plugged it in and then it died, I couldn't figure out what the heck happened. So I went over after I killed that one video, or we finished that video. I'm going to pause you guys and get something else out, so while I'm talking, we're at least seeing something. Okay, here's Rosado. This is a female elbow pelosum, hobby form. We have a lot of these mealworms left. See, she'll take one. Oh yeah, she'll probably take a couple. Get another one. Okay, so she took two also. And she's pretty good at doing a little dance. So I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit on her. Okay, again, I'm still learning this tripod, so bear with me. It's a little bit different moving this one than it is the other one. The other one's much easier to move. So anyway, the light. So I went and I plugged it in to charge it up, and the light wasn't coming on. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, the little red light, the charging light should be coming on. Well, I looked at the plug I was plugging it into, and it was the charger from my GoPro. So needless to say, that charger is a tad bit different than this one is. The slotting is the same, but where it inserts is different. So it broke the charging port of this light. So that's why it didn't charge, because I was plugging it in with a GoPro instead of the actual Insignia cord. So I went and got a new one today. I just got the light. There was a kit that I could have got, which was from Best Buy. It's called an open box kit. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Best Buy. Every now and then they'll do clearance sales and they'll do open box sales, stuff that was open. And yeah, hold on one second. Our neighbor's here. He's in the band for high school, and they did a fundraiser, so I had to pay for the stuff. I ordered some pepperoni balls and some pepperoni bread with cheese, I think. Anyway, they have open box sales, which means that the box, you know, somebody may have opened it to look at something and didn't close it up right. So the kit was 50% off, and what you got was the LED light. You got that little tripod like I showed you. You got a microphone, which I do want to get a microphone if I could figure out how to get this light mounted someplace else. Then the microphone will pick me up a little bit better. Hopefully it'll pick up me a little bit better and not some of the background noise like the dog barking over there or my fan running over here. But it also had a remote starter, the charging kit, a little case, and then 3 lenses for your phone, which I already have, which was a fisheye, a wide angle, and a 10-time macro. I have a 10-time macro and a 15-time macro. So for $44. So I almost got it, but I decided against it and just got the light instead, because I figured with the new tripod, which was $19, and the new light was $19, that's really all I needed. I'll look at some microphones somewhere else, but yeah, these little lights here, they're pretty cool. They work real well. So okay, well, enough talking about this one. Let's or the lights or whatever. Let's try and feed the Holotheli sanguinicepus. Maybe we'll actually get it on film this time. Okay, so inside the skull is the Holotheli sanguinicepus. I see it out every now and then. Every time I try to get a picture, I get a great shot, and then the picture looks like crap. Let's see if we can get it to come out and at least grab that mealworm anyway. I have never seen this one eat at all. So I fear this is a mystery spider for me. I had to, the little one didn't make it. It only made it, 3 or 4 days after I got it in shipment. I'm not having a lot of luck with spiders under a ½ inch lately. I think I'm going to put a ban on anything less than 3/4 inch coming here. Anyway, I thought this was a dwarf species, like a 2 inch, 2.5, maybe 3 inch at most, but people are telling me this could be a 4 inch spider, so I'm not really 100% sure. And I also heard that it might have had a name change to Longipes, so I'm not positive of what's going on with this spider itself. So sorry, I'm moving this light here. It doesn't seem to be lighting up as much as normal, but yeah, so I don't see it very often. As a matter of fact, you guys, I don't think have seen it at all yet. So we're going to move on. We're probably going to start using some super worms and roaches from here on out. Okay, this is our Dolichothele diamentinensis. You got to see it last time feed. Hopefully this time it'll come out again if this roach moves at all. One of my favorite species, genus. I just love the colors, I love the webbing. A lot of people call them mini GBBs. They're really not. I mean, they're similar, but they are quite a bit different, to be honest. Hopefully my mail that I sent to John did his job, and he had a good pairing with this female, so we get some slings, because this is something that, you know, one of those spiders you just want to keep. You know, make sure you always have one. She's not coming out. She was over in the corner here, back there, but now she's back here. She's in this area right there, straight down. So we probably won't see her come out. And dubias, they're death of me. I think dubias are great for big spiders, where you can just drop it in front of them and they'll just take it, or even small slings, you know, small dubias. But you know, these small juveniles, they're just not conducive. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. We're going to get some more stuff down, and probably some bigger stuff coming up. Okay, so before we get to any more feedings, this is the Brachypelma baumgarteni, molted. This is the one that I said molted. And I think I kind of suspected that coming up in the last video that I showed, or Meet the Brackies, but it's actually pink. Legs are pinkish. Carapace is pinkish. It looks brown on here. That's the problem with videos. It doesn't always pick up coloring right. But so we have successful molt there. We're going to give it some water. And I'm going to let it be for a little bit. Give it another day or two. I have something that I want to put in there, a little bit different of a hide. Actually, it's similar to that. The bull skeleton or skull that was in with the sanguinicepus. So I don't know if it'll fit in here right. I'm going to try it. I'm going to bury it most of the way, so that just the eyes are barely coming out, and then the nose area will come out, and then the spider can go down inside there and hide. Hopefully it won't live in there and we don't ever see it again. But okay, so that's this guy, and I think we're going to get some big stuff coming up here. Okay, here's Denver. This is the mature male Brachypelma cyaneo-pubescens. Hopefully it'll be ready to eat and not bolt. Let me get the catch cup ready, because since he's matured, he's a little bit different. Yeah, he still eats. The attack is a little bit different, that's for sure. That was kind of a clumsy, labored. I don't know why this light just doesn't look right to me. And you can see his color's pretty good here. So mature male, Brachypelma cyaneo-pubescens, GBB, green bottle blue. Beautiful. Boy, he's beautiful. Okay, I gotta take a picture of him, and then we'll move on. Okay, here's Orion, the Fists of Fury, Nandu chromatus, male. Keep your eyes on the prize, because it probably isn't going to take long. Nandus are extremely good eaters. This is not a very big meal for him. Trying to get it to go over by him so he doesn't chase it. It should be all it's going to take. Yep. Another very, very gorgeous spider. Nandu chromatus. The Brazilian red and white needs some water. Oh, he didn't like that. He's a show spider. They dig a lot when they're little. Again, I think I explained this, he stopped digging as he got a little bit bigger. So I put him in here with limited amount of dirt, gave him the coconut to hide in, which he does. That's generally spends a lot of his time, and at night you'll see him out. Actually, you see him out quite a bit. I mean, he was out when I came home from work. Just when I grabbed the enclosure, that's where he goes, right to his hide. So, okay, that's the Nandu chromatus, and we're going to go right down the road. We got the Grammostola pulchra male, the mature male Phaunopelma chalcodes from KC Tarantulas. We'll try feeding the Phaunopelma gabelli, and there was one more I wanted to do in part 2, and then part 3 will be whatever's left over. I'm drawing a blank of what I want to do here. So let's get the, we'll get Norman, the Grammostola pulchra, out, and then we'll get those last couple over on that shelf over there, and then we'll move to the other stuff for part 3. Here's Norman. Now, you guys notice that most of the time I start the videos with the cover on. It makes it easier for me to start that way. Let's see if he, oh goodness. That was pretty damn quick. Love this dude. I always say there's, you have that one or two that question comes up, you know, sometimes on the sites or the groups, like if you could only keep one tarantula, what would it be? Oh, my knees killing me. There's so many different ones that I would say, you know, GVBs, or, you know, they're easy, they're pretty, they eat real well. You know, some of the pokies, I love my Salmopaeus pulchers, of course. I think anything in the Salmopaeus family would be something for me, but as I start to get older, this would probably be the one, the Grammostola pulchra. Black, beautiful, bold, good eater. Not a super fast grower, but I got him at 1.5 inches roughly a year ago, and he's probably a little over 2.25 now, and done well eating, so done well growing. He's not super black like that jet velvety, but he's real close to it. See how he's got the mirror patch there, the gold urticating patch. So that's Norman, Grammostola pulchra. We're going to try and feed the mature male Phaunopelma chalcodes next. I haven't had the lid off that guy since he got in, other than the top off his water yesterday. So we'll see how he acts. He's been pretty wandery. Okay, there is Mojave. Kind of far away. I gave him a male red runner. And catch kept ready, because I don't know this spider yet, so he has been really, really flighty. so I want to make sure he's not too spooked and crazy. I'd like for him to eat because I think we're going to try pairing him next week. I'm going to feed Celine today also. There we go, he got it. We'll top up his dish here. Yep, he doesn't like that. He hates me around his water dish. We got to keep an eye on him. I'm sure he will come over here and... No, he didn't do it this time. Yesterday he attacked the water dish, so... Okay, there's Mojave. Mike's mature male Phonopelma calcotes. KC tarantulas. I'll get some pictures of him, and then I will we'll move on to the Gabelli. I think we'll do next, and she'll probably end the part 2. Okay, Phonopelma Gabelli. Still figuring out this tripod. Had a few malfunctions there. She looked like she wanted to get it. I'm just having a hard time with this tripod. I gotta build a stand or something for these bigger enclosures. You know, this thing does lift you up higher, but it's still not high enough to get into some of these enclosures here. I know she wants to eat the roach because she tried to get it. Oh, she's going to go in there. No, she's not. Okay. Let's see if I can see that little roach and get it back out. Is she going to get it? That's the big question. She's a very undecisive spider. 1 minute she'll lunge for one, the next minute she just backs right off. She does look healthy though, doesn't she? She probably doesn't need that roach. We're going to give her, I mean it's not that big, but we're going to give her one more shot at eating it and then we'll take it out. Now it's back inside again, so I think she will eat it, but I don't think she wants to do it on camera. So there she is in all her glory. I'm going to try to get the roach out, give her one more shot, and then take it out. So thanks for watching part 2 of the end of July, now beginning of August feeding video. There'll be one more part with roughly 12 more teas to feed. Okay, so we'll see everybody on the next one, and please let me know how I'm doing. I know that, you know, the normal people that are always commenting, you know, I know that you guys enjoy the videos, and I, don't get me wrong, keep sending me the compliments, I like them, but There's a lot of people that are watching the video that don't compliment or don't say anything at all. I don't have to say compliment or comment, period. Tell me, let me know what you think, and if there's something I'm doing that you don't like or something you'd like to see me do a little different, let me know. Okay, we'll talk to everybody soon. Like I said, it wasn't even a minute after I said goodbye to everybody and shut this off that she hammered that roach. So you'll be able to see her back into her favorite spot. But isn't that like menacing looking at that? Imagine like walking into a dark cave and seeing that staring out at you. Remember the Gilligan's Island, for those of you that aren't like 12 years old? Those of us that are older remember the Gilligan's Island episode with the spider in the cave. That's her. Not a doubt in my mind, that's her. Look at that, it's just menacing. Here, we'll bring you guys in even a little closer. Try to focus, there we go. She has some dark features to her, and she has huge gelaraceae. Is that how to say it right? Gelaraceae. But and she's got the two front legs on the right, two front legs on the left that are brownish. Ones in the back are blackish. Formidable spider. Real beefy. When she eats good. But she feeds like a Gramastola though. She's very sporadic with eating, and she goes quite a long time in between. Okay, so I also just heard from Vlad. It looks like, I don't know if we're going to do it by the end of this week, but he's going to separate the Balfouri. Once he does that, depending on the date, he'd have to ship by Wednesday. So he'd have to separate him today or tomorrow and then get him in the mail Wednesday to get here Thursday. If not, it'll be next week. There'll be unboxing video with a bunch of new little tiny things to deal with. I'll show you what I have in mind in the next video for the Balfouri. They're all 4th instar, so they're all about an inch big. And I have the one that's probably about the same size, and then the smaller one. I think I'm going to go ahead and introduce them all into the enclosure at the same time, so there'll be 5 of them in there. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to cross my fingers that they all take good to each other. I've heard many people introduce Balfouris, within an instar or 2 of each other from different sacks, and they've been perfectly fine. So, okay, again, I'm going to say goodbye again. Thanks for watching part 2 of the feeding video again. Thank you. And we'll see everybody in part 3.